This is Our Rough Draft, a podcast, real talk for real relationships.
Welcome to Our Rough Draft, where we share real stories from marriage, work, life, and the adventures along the way. We'll laugh, maybe get real, and hopefully help you spark some new conversations in your own life.
I'm Denise, the wild, emotional one who loves words and big ideas.
And I'm Tim. I'm the practical level one who fixes what she dreams of.
And this is Our Rough Draft, where we share the stories we're still living. Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to Our Rough Draft.
Welcome.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good.
A little hot.
Yeah, for the fuck's sake. It is ridiculous. Like, I got up this morning for the tour.
Yeah.
It was 99 at 4 a.m.
Yeah. Well, it only got down to what, 97 last night?
Night before it was down to 97. I don't know. I didn't check last night. Our pool's at 94.
I know. It feels like soup.
It's not nice. It's not healthy. It's not. The dogs can't go in it. We're all just here.
She's hibernating inside the house.
Right.
Yeah. 116 is no joke.
No, and it's supposed to be this way all week.
That's great.
Like we might get 120 today. Let me look. Whoopsie daisy. Sorry about that, friends. It's miserably hot. It is 1:11 at 11:30 in the morning. We are going to just 115 today, but we are in all of those. We don't get below 110 all week. Whoo.
That's enjoyable.
I mean, I love Arizona, but this is.
Yeah. I mean, every time I go outside in this kind of weather, I always have to remember what it's going to be like in, November,
right.
December.
But that seasonal affect disorder that I had in Seattle, I'm having down here because I can't leave my house and it's like freaking me the fuck out. So that's for real. Yeah, we're going to have to figure that out long term. We can't keep doing this. Mason's back in school, and so it's his senior year, so we have to be here. Yeah. But next July, we have no reason to be here.
Popping out.
Yeah. We're done. So yay. I'm so excited that we are hanging out and doing this today. I thought we would start with something a little bit different. Like we usually have a question and we dig in, but I want to play with something I've been working on with kind of like, it runs parallel to my dissertation. But this idea of like how we connect with each other, I think will be really good for this episode. So get your phone out.
Okay.
Go to the website, DeniseLeeWaters.com.
You need a shorter website.
Or no, that is my name.
I know.
I can't get a shorter name. This is the name I am given. Are you there?
No, I'm typing your long name. Now I'm there.
Okay. When you are at the homepage, just scroll down a little and it'll say curious where you naturally begin. Take the quiz.
Mm-hmm.
Click it.
Take it?
Yeah. But let's do it together because I kind of am interested in what.
What do you mean do it together? Like conspire on our answers?
No. Let's just begin.
Got it.
I just am interested in what
I have to sign up?
Well, yes, honey. Quizzes are either free and you give me your email or they cost. Mine is free and you give me your email so that I can send you information about the book. It's just how it is. It'll be okay. I won't spam you, I promise.
You sure?
Yes, you get one email by taking the quiz. That is all. Okay, so this whole idea is like, what kind of connector are you? It's not a personality quiz.
All right, I'm in.
All right, so you're at the quiz. You clicked on the quiz?
I did.
Okay, so now you're in. This is not a personality quiz. This is not like who you are forever. It's an entry point into how you kind of default to making connections right now at this moment.
Okay.
It could be different if you take it on different days. It's an entry point into a conversation, which is what we're having. So let's take it.
All right.
What'd you put on that first one?
I already don't remember.
Okay.
Stay with them.
Okay. Pick your road trip car. This one might just be for fun.
I think we all know what I picked.
Yes, Dusty Jeep.
That's right.
All right. In a group conversation, you're usually the one who
gets the conversation moving, asks the question that matters most, listens carefully before speaking, or helps everyone feel included. People feel most loved by you when you show up again and again, notice what others overlook, celebrate who they are, or encourage them to be brave.
It's an interesting one because it's about the other person.
Uh-huh.
Ooh, your ideal Saturday.
Finishing something meaningful and helping a friend, browsing bookstores, coffee shops, and farmers markets, exploring somewhere new, reading, cooking, and spending unhurried time with someone you love. Can I have all of them?
Yes, and let's do it today. I mean, we can't really go anywhere.
Yeah. Is there an indoor farmers market? We should Google that.
Yeah.
Okay. Question 6. When trust is involved, you usually take your time, but once trust is earned, it's lasting. Lead with openness, jump in and figure it out together, or watch first, then decide.
Oh, I'm not that one.
No, I feel like that. Friends usually describe you as the motivator, the one who notices, the steady presence, or the light in the room. Oh, the light in the room. That's me. For sure.
Almost never.
Shut up. Question 8. Which place feels most like home? A trail I've never walked, a quiet overlook, a garden in bloom, a porch with people I love.
As long as it's an overlook that's safe.
Right.
And no sharp edges for me.
And sturdy rails.
Yes.
Question 9. When you're part of a team, people naturally look to you to steady, notice, start, or connect. Which season feels most like you? Winter, summer, autumn, spring. I'm basing that based on the kind of clothes that I like to wear.
Yeah, I imagine that's true.
Which sentence feels most true? I wonder how everyone is feeling. I wonder what's possible. I wonder what we're missing. I wonder what will last.
I'm wondering what I'm going to get today.
Question 12, final question. Which of these ideas feels most true to you? Life is meant to be lived with courage, from Daring Greatly by Brene Brown. Creativity and curiosity make life richer by Big Magic, or From Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert. Every season has something to teach us, from Wintering by Catherine May, or Paying Attention Changes Everything, from The Art of Noticing, Rob Walker.
I got what I expected to get.
Imagine that. Oh, my starting place is Lookout.
Interesting.
What was yours?
Trailblazer. So a lookout is somebody who offers perspective, which seems very true to who you are.
I feel that way.
Trailblazer, seeing what's possible and helping others to take the first step.
I like that. That feels like you as well.
Yeah. The other two in this series are Oak and Wildflower. Oak being like that steady presence, and Wildflower being more like beauty and emotions as a place to start.
What was Oak?
Like steady presence, which I think you have some Oak in you as well. Do you have your breakdown?
Yeah, those were the two highest for me. So Lookout was 42% and Oak was 32%.
That's
and then
awesome.
Wildflower was 16 and Trailblazer 11, so not even close.
Interesting. Okay, so Trailblazer, I'm 53. Lookout, Wildflower, and Oak were all equal at 16. So anyway, I just think it's a great starting place because it helps you have a conversation. So it's available. You would just have to like navigate to give me your email, and then you can take the quiz and you get all the information that goes with it. But the point of it is to have a starting place to enter into a conversation, or a starting point when things are tricky. So what I think we were going to talk about today had nothing to do with the quiz, but had to do with the essay that I wrote this week about crossing the river in Leavenworth.
Yeah.
Do you remember that day?
I remember some of that day,
Yeah.
but your essay pointed out things that I had forgotten.
Yeah, because perspective is different from each person's side.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't always remember everything. It's really helpful that I see these pictures in a photo album, like in order with the other things.
Oh, yeah.
Because then I know the date, I know what happened. I didn't actually, when I looked at that picture the first time, and it's you and I, just the two of us crossing the river in Leavenworth, we had no change of clothes. We had no water shoes. We had one camelback with water. Like, it was the most ridiculous thing. But we're like, you want to cross the river?
Yeah. Well, if I remember correctly also, I think that somebody that I worked with was floating down the river. I think we saw people floating down the river.
We did see people.
As you do.
Yeah.
And for some reason, I think they was like, oh, they look like they're having a good time. We should go around the other side of the river. And
it looked close.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't like the big expanse of the river.
Right.
It was a little, it looks sparkly. So you can see the rocks right underneath.
Yeah.
Let's cross. It'll be fun.
Yeah.
It was not fun.
No.
It was cold. It was so cold. Like the cold that I wish was in my bones right now in the summertime in Arizona.
Well, and you called out in your essay, not only was it cold, but without water shoes, we didn't put shoes on our feet, and stepping on those rocks was like torture.
Yeah, it was horrible. Yeah, it was crazy. But it was just one of those I don't know, let's just do it. But when I think back to it, and it was, what did I say, 12 years ago? Is that possible? I think so.
I think so.
Yeah. It was just a few days after my friend Jim had died. Mm-hmm. And I was a mess. And the boys were in San Diego. And we had plans to do a bunch of stuff in the summer because that's what we do. Later in the photo album, we're at Cave B for a spa weekend. Mm. The day after we tried to cross the river, we were doing the mud run in Issaquah.
Oh, yeah.
The weekend before, we were wine tasting in Woodinville, right? We were doing things.
We were getting out of the house.
Yeah, but this day, I think, probably just said, hey, you want to go wine tasting in Leavenworth? And it was a day trip, and we took off and we did it. And we went hiking on Blackbird Island. And then we had this harebrained idea to cross the river. But thinking back on that time and how gutted I was not functioning very well. And it was only a few days after he had died, suddenly and tragically. And it was the perspective that I needed. And I think what's interesting and why I had us do the quiz today is because it was this idea that I think of myself as the trailblazer. I think of myself as the one who's hey, let's go do this fun thing. Let's be silly. Let's go do crazy things. And I was not any of that. And you saw that, right? So look out, interestingly enough, and came to my side of trailblazing and said, she can't do it herself right now. I've got to fill that void.
Yeah.
And I think we've done that for each other over time.
I think we have. I mean, I think that it takes skill and practice in a relationship to notice the things, right? Because I think that there are times where you can look at somebody who's struggling and think about what you need and try and provide that. So the motivation's great. I mean, the motivation is, I want to help this person get through this struggle. But the challenge there is that you're trying to provide what you need or what you would want in that situation versus what does this person need right now? And that's where you need to meet them. So again, I think that skill is learned. And I think sometimes in your relationships, you don't have a lot of time to learn that before maybe a situation hits that requires you to show up differently or to show up to fill the gap. So I think something like this quiz can be really valuable. What do you normally do? And how does that skill relate to our relationship? And during times of struggle where we need something, how would that show up or how could it show up? So I think all of that is valid because then you do show up the way that's needed. Hey, I know you're struggling right now. Let's get out of the house. Let's go do something, to take our minds off of it, et cetera. But that's for you versus this is what I would need in that situation.
Yeah. And it just gives a little bit of insight into that other person, whether the quiz is perfect or not.
Yeah.
It's a starting point in the conversation being I just took this and these 3 things resonate with me.
Yeah.
The rest doesn't, but it's 3 talking points. It's 3 places where you can get deeper and tell me more about that.
Right.
Let me understand that. How does that work for you? When you get the email that comes after it, I go into when things go wrong, how that outlook on connection might stumble. And when you're stuck, what that might look like. Mm-hmm. But again, just starting places for, I really am in a funk right now. And I'm noticing, right? So for me as trailblazer, when I'm stuck, it's visual, right? Trailblazer, put on your boots, go outside, go do something. When I'm stuck, my boots are right by the door. gathering dust. I haven't left the house. I stay put. I need that, whether it is doing a different type of art or writing something crazy or right. Like just that, like getting out of my own head, getting out of my own way, which I think is pretty. For me, what's important there is that like I reflect on it enough myself to be able to start self-identifying the places where I can ask for help. But in a relationship, it's also the places to be able to offer, I need this, or did you know this about myself? Because when we wait always for somebody else to ask us the question, we might like fester in our own loneliness.
Well, and I think I struggle with this a little bit because I feel like these are the questions that are important to relationships. And I'm not trying to toot our horn or anything, but it would have been nice to know this 25 years ago. It would have been, regardless of whether you go through something like a marriage prep class, right? Where you kind of talk about some of those things. I think some of these things get overlooked because it's not just about the big things. It's not just about how do you prefer to manage money and what do how do you want to raise your kids? Like, yes, those big rocks are very important, but the things that really hurt relationships are when you're not meeting that other person where they need to be met. Regardless of what the situation is, right? So connection, the way that you build connection, the way that you value connection, the way that you ask for connection, those are really critical things in a relationship. And I think they come naturally. You learn about them after a while, but it'd be so much better for everybody involved if you could learn about those ahead of time.
Well, and I think that that's such a great point that you bring up. And what I love is over the years, we have worked on our relationship. And one of the things that was like one of my favorite things that we ever did was the weekend with the Gottmans. I love John and Julie, like with my whole entire heart. Like, I just think they have done so much good work. What?
That was an interesting weekend, I think, because that was the first thing that I think I'd ever gone to like that with you. Like, yes, you love them and your full woo was coming out that weekend. And I was there for it. I wasn't an unwilling participant, but I think I was a little bit more of a neophyte. And I'll be really honest, sometimes it was difficult to pay attention to the exercises that we were supposed to be doing because there were so many shit shows happening around us.
Right. Because typically, it's always a good story, right? But like in marriage retreats, marriage work, relationship work, most of the time people don't engage with it unless they're struggling. And so the struggle's in the room, right? And so like that was on full display. Whereas we've tried to go where we're not in full struggle to like continue to build.
And that's too bad. I think that's that's a valid point. I think you see those things happening because of that. And that's sad that people are only then approaching the help.
Right. And so what I was going to say about the Gottmans is I love their work. They've done really beautiful work. And one of the biggest things they work on in explaining is this idea of a bid for connection, right? I do something and I'm expecting my partner to notice it and turn towards it. What I'm saying with connection, both in this work that I'm doing, the work I'm doing on my dissertation, all of it is let's like shine a light on that. Like it doesn't have to be a secret. You can say, I'm actually making a bid for connection right now. Like, could you please help me with blah, 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 right? Like, I just think it's so important for us to know how we connect and not be secretive about it. Because I even think early in our relationship, these like bids for connection, I don't even know if I knew I was making a bid for connection.
That's what my bookmark was. I think that people don't know. I don't know that everybody has that language. I don't think people know what they're doing when they do that. When I ask for this, when I want to do something with you, when I want you to come and paint something with me or take a walk or do whatever it is, go to the bookstore, like that's my bid for connection. And I think that without that language, it's easy to just dismiss that as like, let's take, you went to Trader Joe's last night.
Yeah.
And asked me if I wanted to come along. And I had a headache and I just didn't feel like leaving the house. That could be a really simple example of somebody wanting to make a connection. I just want to spend time with you. Like, it's not about help me at the grocery store.
Right.
Like, that has nothing to do with it. It's literally whatever conversation you have in the car or the physical presence or all that. So somebody says, no, I don't really feel like going to the grocery store. It may not have been about that.
Right.
But I think when you can have that conversation and say, hey, I feel a little bit distant from you right now. I'm making a bid for connection. I want to do something this weekend. Can we go to lunch? Can we grab coffee in the morning? Can we, I don't know, watch a movie together, like
Right.
whatever it is for you. But I think having that part of the conversation or having that part of the language available makes it easier then for the other person to see it and hopefully give you that connection you're looking for.
Yeah, because the other piece, right? There's so much research in all of this, and I'm trying my best to like weed through it and put it into an order that is digestible for people. But we all know about love languages, right? Like this idea that what is yours? Quality time. What is it called?
I don't know.
Is that what it's called?
I don't know if it is called that, but
that's what it is. So when you say, do you want to go to Ace with me? That is you making a connection.
Yeah.
And I know that after 25 years of marriage.
But you still don't go with me all the time.
I don't, because sometimes I don't want to.
Sometimes you don't want to make a connection. Great.
It's true. It's a lot of connecting. Go ahead.
Well, but
I can come back.
But I think that brings up a great point, though, which is it is okay to say your way of connecting doesn't necessarily meet my need for connecting. Like, can we find something that fits both of us?
Yeah.
So yeah, I love going to Home Depot and wandering around and looking at all the possibilities. And you do not like that. And I know
I can like it. I just don't. It's not my go-to. No.
You like it when we have a project.
Yeah, for sure.
You like it when there's a project to be done. I don't know, like be in an air-conditioned space for 5 minutes or 5 hours.
It's so interesting to go back to the quiz, though, on that. Like, that is an interesting piece. Like, I have a destination in mind. Like, let's go from here to here. You are going to like see big picture. Oh, I didn't know they had this. Oh, it's so interesting that this is only this much money.
Just filing that stuff away for later times. But again, going back to that point, if your way of connecting, like if my way of connecting was I want to go bungee jumping with you and you're like, hell no, I'm scared of heights. There's no way. Then you're not connecting. Like it's okay to say,
right, to have,
that's not mine. Right,
for sure. And I think so back to what you were saying about yesterday having a headache. I offer, do you want to go to Trader Joe's with me? Because I know that's how you like to connect. For me, you go, you stay, it doesn't matter. Like I'm good going on my own. And you were able to say, yeah, I don't feel good. I'm going to take a nap, get my head feeling better, and we'll connect when you get back home. No big deal.
Yeah.
But if we didn't know that about each other, and you, right, if you thought one thing and I thought another, and we're playing these stories out in our head, but we're not talking about it, I get back from Trader Joe's and you're pissed and I don't know what that is and I don't ask about it, then we're off to the races, right? And I just think it's such an interesting practice to talk about how to connect.
Yeah.
Because this can be the conversation today and it can be completely different a week from now. I might need you to go with me to Trader Joe's because I'm feeling disconnected at work and I need that conversation, or you've been out of town. So you just have to keep checking in with each other and saying, is this still true? Yeah. Is this what you need? Is this what I need? Do I need that in the moment? Do I need that long term?
Yeah, I think not we, and you and I, but we've done it before too. I think we just, spend so much time trying to figure out the language, trying to figure out the intent, trying to find the meaning, the hidden meaning, the whatever it is. Like there's just so many things that complicate that part. But if you have the language, then it's easier.
Yeah.
Like, hey, again, I feel a little disconnected from you right now for whatever reason. Like you've been busy, I've been busy, you've been whatever. The why doesn't even matter as much as I'm feeling this way. Do you want to go to the grocery store with me?
Yeah.
So we're together. Yeah, sure. We can do that.
The other concept that I'm writing about and playing with right now is this idea of capacity and bandwidth and strain and like all of those different types of things. But I think that came out in the essay as well of when you have a lot going on. And I know like who that Denise was in those pictures. I was just finishing up teaching. My summer was mine. I had taken the job as a principal, but I hadn't yet started it. Or I had just started it that week. It was the first week I had done it. But big things were coming and hard things were coming. And the capacity I had then was different than what I had months after that, because I was so overwhelmed by that job that like making it home was the only thing I could do every night. And that changes how you connect also.
Yeah.
And being able to know when you're at capacity and use that word. Like, I've hit my limit of whatever it is. I need more from somebody else. And we don't often talk about that either.
Yeah. I think we have touched on it in the past of, the 100%, right? The 100%, the 50%. I think that this plays into that, or vice versa, where you, on any given day, have so much to give, whatever that number might look like. And when you can't give any more, you need somebody to be giving more than that, right? Like, especially if you're parents, especially if you have a family, there are so many ways that you can just hit that wall, and you need somebody else to step in and take a moment or carry the load for a while.
Yeah. I was just going to say about being a parent. I love that you transitioned us there. So yesterday I wanted to read this little fun story that I'm writing. I'm being silly and doing this little project that's just awesome. And I was like, oh, Mason, have you read this one? And he was like, no. It's like, do you want to? No. He's like, okay. And I FaceTimed Thatcher. I'm like, Thatcher, do you want to hear my story? And he's like, yes, Mom. Which is the best part of having 5, is that like when somebody doesn't want to, somebody else will.
Yeah. Yeah. You've got other chances to have that connection. Yeah. I think, I think about our kids sometimes, and I think when I have felt disconnected from our kids, it's because I might have the language, but I don't think they do sometimes, or didn't maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that our kids are all 3 of them are very perceptive, and I think they've got more language maybe than some. And I think that's, again, where you have to go back to, it's not just saying, hey, Mason, do you want to play a board game?
Right.
Because the answer is most likely going to be no. Let's face it, right? Like, he's 17. Last thing he wants to do is hang out with his parents. But if you phrase it as, hey, we haven't spent a lot of time together. Can we find something to do? Can we play a board game? Can we watch a movie together? Can we go to a movie? Then it's easier for him to see this isn't just about, I want to try and beat you in a board game. This is about spending time together. And I think it makes it easier for people to say yes to connection when they know that it's connection versus just something else.
That's really interesting that you say that, because when we started doing this podcast, one of the reasons that we did it was to share our stories and to have them so that the boys could have them. Because there is this thing going on in the world right now where like you are rewriting your history. People are rewriting their history of, I didn't get what I needed from my parents, or my parents were checked out, or whatever, and creating their own narrative around their childhoods through their lens, which is completely legitimate and important for people to do. But if you don't get the other side of the story, then it's just a one-sided story, right? And the richness of a good story is you're seeing multiple perspectives, right? You are not just getting the narrator view, you're seeing it through the eyes of the characters as well, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's good story. And so when you look back at your childhood, or you look back on a relationship or work or any of it, and you're just seeing that one viewpoint, it can get skewed because we self-protect, we do other things, and we change the story in our head. And so the beauty of talking about, hey, I want to connect with you, like, makes it so much more clear. My parents always wanted to play board games because they wanted to connect with me, not because they were bored.
Right.
My mom's constantly making weird art because I don't know. That was just a random aside.
I don't think it's weird. I like your art.
Thank you. I like my art too. And I like when people play along with my art, right? Like, It's interactive, and I want to see how people relate to the art. So like, I want to hear Thatcher's reaction to the story. I don't want to just like necessarily put it into the world and never know if anybody read it.
Right.
I want that back and forth. And so, but that is not to feed my ego, but I like when other people laugh, or I like when it moves somebody or it reminds them of something. So yeah, it's pretty fun.
Yeah.
Thinking back to Leavenworth, wine tasting, going to the
wine drinking. Wine tasting is such a bullshit term. I don't know. Like they always have they've got one like spitter that you could use to spit out the wine. I've never seen anybody spit out wine. Like, oh, I'm going to go here and pay $40 just to swirl it around in my mouth and let you know that it's got notes of cherry and fucking tobacco. And then I'm going to spit it into that fancy silver thing. No, people drink wine. You go there to drink wine. That's it. And have fancy cheese and meat.
Do you want to do that right now? Do you want to do some wine tasting?
Love to do some.
Right? I picked up some wine when I was at Trader Joe's.
Yeah, but we need to get some fancy cheese and meat, though.
Well, there's a store we could go to.
I know of one.
Okay.
Anyway, thinking back to Leavenworth and wine tasting.
We went wine tasting, then we went for the hike. We went across the river. You've read my essay, thinking back on that time. What stands out for you? What do you remember?
For that particular moment, when I think about, you started off with Jim passing away. I think I'd always given you a bunch of grief about Jim.
He did not pass away. That motherfucker died.
He checked out.
Yeah.
His car got pulled.
Yeah, it was Ver.
Yeah.
Anyway, dark. I know it's dark, but it was his time and he went.
But I think I'd always given you a bunch of shit about Jim because just the relationship that you guys had and the time that you spent together. And like, he was a big part of your life.
Yeah.
And so I think at that moment, I don't know, maybe it was a little bit of jealousy. And not that I ever I've never been the jealous type. And I don't think I was jealous of him. I think maybe what I might have been jealous of is the connection, was that part of the relationship.
The history, right?
The history, the connecting on a deeper level. Like this wasn't somebody you had a fling with. This was like a deep soul connection. I think being a little bit jealous or knowing that helped me help you through that. Because when that happened, I knew that the ground was shifting. This wasn't just somebody that I knew when I was in high school passed away, because we've all had that.
Right.
And it's affected us to, varying degrees. But I knew this was a fundamental like shifting of the ground, and I needed to be there for you.
Yeah.
So I think that part helped me help you through it. Yeah, that's kind of what I think of.
It's still weird.
Yeah.
It's crazy to know that my book's going to come out and he's not going to be there to read it.
Mm-hmm. I think the other thing about that time, it made me sad that I never had an opportunity to meet him. And especially after reading Black Hearts.
Right.
And there could have been so much valuable
conversation. Such a good writer.
It would have been, I think, a really interesting... He would have been a great person to meet. And I regret not having had an opportunity to meet him and get to know him. Because I think also getting to know him would have given me some insight into who you were at that time.
Yeah. I mean, and I think it was a strange relationship.
Penny doesn't like it when you cry.
I know. Like, it didn't... He too was married. And like, I think he and I had a weird relationship from another partner perspective. Like, we were really tight, and that can cause jealousy. It can cause this idea that like maybe this relationship is missing something, but that wasn't it. Like, I'd known him since I was 15. Not think we were going to talk about this today.
Yeah.
That
snuck up on you a little bit.
12th anniversary of when he died this week too. Oof.
I think that, like you mentioned something like, it doesn't necessarily mean there's anything missing. I think it's okay if there is. I mean,
that's a great point.
To an extent, like, right. You could classify what's okay and what's not.
Yeah.
But I think that people give you different things. And I
Yeah.
think that's why you have relationships with other people and why you have friends and family and coworkers and acquaintances, and why people come into your life for 5 minutes because you needed something different during that
Yes.
5 minutes versus people you've known your entire life. So I think it's okay that somebody's giving you something that you're not getting someplace else.
Right.
And I think it's okay to have those conversations too.
Right.
Like,
You're
hey,
right.
this is the person that I really love sitting down with and discussing X, Y, and Z. Great. I have no knowledge of that, or maybe it's not my interest, or it's not my, my passion, but you should absolutely go and have that conversation with that
Right.
person
Yeah.
and spend time with them and have that
Absolutely.
relationship.
And we typically don't do it with somebody from the opposite sex in our culture. And especially a relationship that has lasted longer than
Because
we had been
it's-
together, because it had gone back so long, right?
Yeah.
It just, like, it's not typical.
Yeah.
And so you have to talk about it more for it to make more sense. Go ahead.
Even if this was somebody that you had a romantic relationship with. So I think about Adrian.
Yeah.
And the fact that you guys had dated a couple of times.
At least 3.
yeah. Multiple. Sorry, Adrian. But I think about that, like, your relationship with Adrian has transitioned into a new sphere. I don't know,
Yeah.
but it's transitioned into being a different kind of relationship than it started out as.
Absolutely.
So I think even that, like, there's nothing wrong with still being connected to somebody that you dated a long time ago, because the relationship can change.
Yeah.
Now, I think there's an unhealthy side of that where you're still pining for somebody. Like,
For
that's
sure.
a totally different situation, but it can't just be dismissed because it is a person of the opposite sex and even somebody that you had a relationship with.
Yeah. I think
people are still valuable.
For sure. And I think one of the roles that Jim played for me, I think we've talked about it, but this idea that you didn't have a relationship with him was actually important to me when you were deployed, because my plan in my head is, if something had happened to you, if somebody had shown up at the door and said you were gone, he was the go-to, because he could have come in and run my life without also being sad, because everybody else in my life would have been gutted. And so he was the one who was like the backstop for me when you were gone.
It's a really interesting perspective.
Yeah. And then that motherfucker went to fucking Iraq the same time you were there the second time. So both of you are in Baghdad at the same time. And I was pissed, because then I'm like, my backstop is gone too. Like, this isn't quite going to work. Yeah, it's just, like, yeah, you need those people who have known you your whole life to reflect back who you are now and to cheer you on and celebrate alongside you, whether that is somebody that you were romantically involved with or not. And that history is important. And I've written about it in a couple different places, but that idea of, like, are your memories still your memories if nobody who was there is still here?
I know my answer to that.
I know. It's philosophical, Tim.
It's a rhetorical question. You're not asking for an opinion.
I mean, you could totally answer it. Okay, well, I just was like looking to see how you would take the quiz and how you like to connect. I didn't think that we would go there, my sweet little girl.
That's how conversation works. Sometimes
It
goes
is.
directions that you didn't intend. So.
Thanks for playing along.
Yeah.
I think about how grateful I am that when I am not my full and total self, that you will play along and that you will get me back to my full and total self. And I'm super grateful for that. At the same time, that it also feels like an expectation sometimes of, like, get your ass back in gear. And that's important to me, because I do want to show up for the people in my life in a really big way. And to have somebody who's like, and get out the door again, is really important for me.
That's the art, I think, is knowing where that line is and knowing when it's appropriate to push back and say, I get it, but you got to get out of bed and you got to get out the door.
Yeah.
Like, you just got to get back to something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So can I ask you a question about that?
Yeah.
Like you, and we talk about the war occasionally.
The war.
And we should probably talk about it more. I just think that
You're talking about the Spanish-American War, right?
No. I just think that you like are so much better at life. Like you
Whoa. That's a giant statement.
But like I know that there have been times when I've played that role for you, but I don't think they're as often, and I don't think they're as dire as me. And I think that that is an important part of this conversation too, of like knowing the other person and knowing where their lows are, even if they don't appear to be as low as the other person, because it's not a competition. I just am wired to have like really big highs and lows, and you don't have those. But if I'm looking for those extremes, I'm always going to miss it.
For sure.
So I have to know the other person well enough to adjust to what they need.
Yep. Yeah, I didn't hear a question in there, but what I would say about that and say about myself, like one of the things that came out in this quiz is you're steady, right? And people always tell me that. People at work, like my boss right now gave me feedback about, you never lose your composure. You never, we never know that things are bugging you. And people have always told me that I'm just steady and all of that. But I think that what you miss in that is the highs and lows, because it could be the lowest of lows and you won't necessarily know it because it does look the same as just a normal day. So I think it's important to, yes, to your point, to be able to recognize it. But I've always thought that the thing that I probably need to do is get out of that steady state when it's necessary, because the opposite side of that can be true as well, right? I'm super excited. I'm very excited right now. I'm so happy that I could just scream. People need to see, I think, more emotion in me sometimes, the lows and the highs, to know, where are you right now? Does this make you really happy? Are you really excited? Are you really proud? Are you really whatever the situation may be? Or are you on this other side where this is a really low day because of X, Y, or Z? And I think that I've tried to, I think being a parent has taught me the need for that. And I haven't always demonstrated it physically, but I hope that the words that I use carry the weight of that emotion sometimes. So like Thatcher and I were texting the other day, and we were talking about something, and I tried to make clear my feeling, my emotion via the words. So I might not show it in my face, in my, expressions, in my level of energy, whatever the thing is, but I'm really trying to get much better about showing it in the word.
Yeah.
And hoping that people believe the words, even if they don't see the extreme emotion behind it,
And I think it's getting to know people. One of the things I think is interesting, one of the questions that I think the boys have asked me more regularly than not is, why does dad care so much about blah, blah, blah? Whether you're mad about something or excited about something. So they know, because I don't think that steady means disengaged.
Yeah. Because steady, the other word for it could be emotionless.
Which I don't,
flat affect, or like, I think there's something there. And I'm not saying that I don't like that descriptor and I don't want to be that way, because I feel like there's value in the relationships I have in being that way. Like if I can be that for somebody, then man, that's a way to be of service to somebody, who needs it during that time. I think back to that question for the boys, I think that goes back to that point that I made, that I wanted to write about and I never did, but this is what love sounds like. Why does dad care so much if I have a jacket or a sweatshirt? Why is he pissed that I didn't take one? Why is he X, Y, Z? It's because I love you so much. And that's just how it's coming out in this particular moment.
Yeah.
So.
Don't you wish you needed a jacket right now?
Yeah, I wish I needed a snowsuit right now. It is something else.
Yeah.
I'm getting hot just sitting here thinking about it.
I know. All right. Thanks for coming to the conversation today. and going all the crazy places that a conversation goes.
That's how it works.
Yeah. So if you want to take the quiz, please do. I think it's a great way to engage with the people in your life. Just gives you something else to talk about. I promise I won't spam you with emails, and you can unsubscribe with one click. So it's pretty easy to do, but I think it's a great entry point to get there. And then, of course, the essay that we've been talking about is out in the world too. So you can read that. And like I said, I love to hear how it impacts you. So comments are open on both the podcast and the Substack, because it's always fun to hear what other people are thinking.
Yeah, it's a great way to have a two-way conversation.
Yeah. Awesome.
All right.
Have a great day.
You too. Bye,
Thanks
everyone.
for being here.